Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. In this video, I want to discuss a little bit more about Bitmine. Now I hold a little bit too much Bitmine, I would say. I hold about 1,700 shares of Bitmine, and I haven't been particularly happy about it. But there have been some recent developments that I want to talk about. So the first thing is the share price itself, right? So the shares are not moving out of this like 25 $30 range. It's been stuck here for a while, and just looking back at when this strategy started, it has been about 139 trading days and about 200 normal days. And just for comparison, because this is one of the ways that I wanted to measure how long a consolidation would take, MicroStrategy has had consolidation periods of around 200 normal days to up to 452 normal days, right? And the current consolidation right now seems to be, I would say, about 464 normal days, so 159 trading days in this case. So we are right in between the range of just before a consolidation ends, and there might be a breakout. We still need, I think, another 1 month of consolidation before we can see some sort of upside. Now, my guess is going to be a little bit more conservative. I think we still need about another 3 months, and I'm basing it off of Ethereum. So notice I am using the 1 day chart on BMNR, but in order to I will say project where BMNR is going, you should really be looking at Ethereum rather than BMNR, because BMNR is diluting shares. So I think how the move in BMNR is synthetic, but you really want to track the underlying to know where it is going, right? So if you look at Ethereum, it has been consolidating for a pretty long time now. I think this dip was likely, the October 10th dip. And we have been consolidating in this range for about 98 days. So that is, I wouldn't say it's very long, but that is like 3 months consolidation. So remember when Tom Lee says that V-shaped recoveries are V-shaped, right? I had a brain fart there. Recoveries are usually V-shaped, right? Now, I don't necessarily agree with him that all recoveries are V-shaped, and I don't think he necessarily says that all recoveries are V-shaped. But the amount of time you would expect for recovery is V-shaped. So it would take another 3 months, I would say, for a possible recovery. And if that doesn't happen, then obviously we are going to see Ethereum either stay at this level or even move down. Okay, so I think it's like a 50-50 chance that it stays down or moves up. So I don't actually know, but basing off the technicals here, I'm looking at the 1 week chart once again. The RSI looks like it's about to break out. The stochastic RSI is at a point where you would typically want to start a position. Now you could have started a position a long time ago, but we also have another indicator for the MACD, and the MACD also seems like it's about to break up. So you sort of couple this with the fundamentals of Ethereum, which is something like use cases like tokenization, stablecoins, and all that. And I think it's very possible for us to see a breakout. So how much are we gonna break out? Now I've seen price targets up to like 15,000 from this guy from Etherealize, and Tom Lee obviously wants it to be at like 22,000. Um, I have a more like conservative estimate. I think 7,000 would be great for Ethereum at the end of the year. And part of where I think Ethereum will get this market cap from is, in my opinion, silver. So What I think might happen with silver is that the increase in silver and gold obviously is going to cause prices in products to increase, and I guess ironically, these are hedges for inflation, but when they move up so high, they could cause inflation. Um, and it's very possible, and everything I'm saying here is like unprecedented. So it's hard for me to say clearly because there hasn't been any precedence for this. I don't think. If not, someone else would have said it. Uh, Once these cause inflation, at some points the industries that use gold and silver cannot pay up for the spot prices, and then the prices will have to go down because the demand goes down. And when we see gold and silver prices fall, I think it's possible that the money rotates into Ethereum and Bitcoin. The reason I think it's not going to rotate into stocks because most of the money right now is in AI stocks, and it doesn't make sense for money to rotate into AI stocks at this point necessarily. I know I could be very wrong on that, but you know most of the money that's been made over the last year has been in AI stocks. So it's really hard for me to find a reason if I were someone that made a lot of money in AI stocks to put all the money back into AI stocks. Um, Either ways, I think money is going to rotate into Ethereum and Bitcoin. So that's why I am still keeping my Bitmine position. I wouldn't say it's a good idea to add here. I think with the new shareholder vote, right? Let's see if I can find it. I might not have it up. All right, here it is. So with the new shareholder vote, BMI has 50 billion shares to use, right? And they're gonna dilute shareholders essentially. And what that means is I think it's possible for Bitmine shares to go down even further, and that's very unfortunate. I don't necessarily like it, but I'm not I don't have a cover call strategy or anything. I'm just purely holding through the pain because first off, I can't really find any other stocks to put it into. Now I have a separate buy the dip strategy which I went through in the last video. Um but I wouldn't say that any of these stocks in my buy the dip strategy is something that I would even put like 30% of my portfolio in, right? These are very, very small positions for a reason. Um, and they are mostly counter trend, so they are going down, whereas most of the market is going up. And typically that does not have a very good track record. Um, so obviously someone else might have a better idea of where to pick better stocks. I know some people have been making a lot of money in the robotics and the space industry. Unfortunately, I did not look into those sectors. So I think right now it's also a little bit too late to chase. And then you have the hyperscalers, which I have Oracle, but people are more excited about stocks like Nebius and Tempest. And I also missed out on those rallies. And I personally don't think hyperscalers, especially like the small hyperscalers, uh, are necessarily going to make it because at some point they're going to run out of data center space, and data center takes a long time to build up. But that is just my thoughts, right? Just because I have thoughts doesn't mean that they are correct. So either ways, I missed out on those rallies, and yes, some people do like to uh trade with the trend. Um, and trading view isn't working here. So throw that out the window. Let's move on to what can we see here? Okay, MrBeast. Tom Lee is investing in MrBeast now. I really don't know how much sense this makes, and I'm not trying to spin this into a positive. But if we're gonna see more of these sort of investments, then once again, I would actually expect the price of Bitmine to go down, unfortunately, because you know, Tom Lee basically has a blank check right now, and I highly doubt he is making this investment without a reason. And part of it, why I think that is because we had to remember that Tom Lee appointed a lot of new people to the board. Okay, they have Chi Sang, Robert Sechan, Olivia Howe, Jason Edgeworth, Tom DeMark, and Young Kim. Okay, so I don't think, first of all, this is not Tom Lee's like personal fund. He's not using this to I think acquire MrBeast or something. He's using this money to invest in the MrBeast because he genuinely thinks that it's a good idea. Okay, and I know a lot of people like to say that he's lost his mind, but um, even though Tom Lee's track record in the near past is not great, he has been very right for a long time in the past. So I don't think he's doing this without reason. As hard as it is to justify this, and once again, I think this will cause the stock price to go down if he keeps doing this. And the fact that there's going to be 50 billion shares in circulation means that the stock price is going to go down. And I'm not talking about the stock being split. I'm talking about the actual um price of the stock going down. Okay. Um. So yeah, those are my thoughts on BMI, and that's why I thought about rotation. I thought about the shareholder BMI having a chance to issue 50 billion shares, and I also talked about their new executive suite. So as of now, I am still gonna hold on to my 1,700 shares of Bitmine, um, but I still expect downside in the short term. Even though I expect a recovery in Ethereum, I expect downside on Bitmine, and I'm not buying here, but I'm also not selling. I'm holding. And if it drops to around the $25 range, I might consider adding to my position. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Bitmine. So it's very tragic. I looked at the comments. So Tree Pro TV, which is a Korean channel, had this interview with Tom Lee. Okay, so this is Tree Pro TV, and I just wanted to look at the comments a little bit. Now most of these are in Korean. Okay, and I just want to go through a few comments. Okay, so Bitmine is inherently a fraud. Let's see here. Okay, Koreans are honest people, and Tom Lee. Okay, he did lie about Vitalik and Sam Altman at the shareholder meeting. Now, I really don't know why he did that. And I find it very hard to believe that both Vitalik and Sam Altman did not go to the shareholder meeting. Now maybe this was recorded a long time ago, and let's say it's true that both of them really could not go to that meeting. But I still found it very weird. Okay, I mean, Tom Lee could have said that the Vitalik and Sam Altman ended up canceling or something, but he didn't. He didn't say it. Okay, so I still find that extremely weird, but I don't necessarily think that Bitmine is a fraud. Okay, I want to go through a few more. Like I saw a very concerned comment. Okay, I think they might have removed some comments, but there were people like calling him an idiot and stuff. But I think this guy has the right idea. Okay, so you study Ethereum in depth, consider Bitmine's detailed strategy, the operating principles of Maven, and the external effects that arise from it. You have no chance but to invest in Bitmine for the long term. You'll understand why Chairman Kim increased the number of shares so much. I think he means Tom, but this was translated from Korean. However, those who are too busy criticizing and lack understanding will not be able to buy and hold for a long time. I hope shareholders will study it thoroughly and become rich. Okay, so I think this guy has the right idea, and I think I've said this in the past. I'm not sure how long it was ago, but Bitmine really isn't a sell until they hit 5%. I think once they hit 5%, that's where we can see the real appreciation in the stock price, because um, at that point they would have most of that Ethereum stake. Now, I'm not sure if they'll stake all 5% of their Ethereum. Um, so they could generate income from that, and they could use it in several different ways. And just one thing as well, I noticed the $200 million investment into MrBeast was literally like a week's worth of Ethereum buy, like uh I think in October or November, right? So he spent a week's of money on MrBeast, and now it's unclear what MrBeast will actually do for the company. Like it's also unclear what the new hires have done. I'm gonna be honest. I asked that question. Nobody answered it. Um, everything you can look at Bitmine and question. But at the same time, I don't think Tom Lee is actually malicious in what he's doing. There has to be a reason that he's doing his stuff, and I guess that's also a reason why he doesn't over communicate his strategy. And I guess we really shouldn't expect that as well, right? Like, which company tells you what they're doing all of the time, and what they think is going to happen, right? Nobody does that. But because Tom Lee is such a big figure in retail, and so many people in retail like me, like my dumbass, bought Bitmine, we expect him to be more transparent than everyone else, right? We expect him to be the most transparent person, but that's not gonna happen. And I think Bitmine is basically a cult stock now. Unfortunately, I never thought it would be. I thought it would just be a simple Ethereum, digital asset treasury. I thought they would have had 5% by now, but things did not work out. They also did not keep their 1.5 MNAV. And in terms of execution, I could have done better. Maybe I shouldn't have went all in at $60, and instead I should have done a more um a smaller buy strategy, right? One thing I thought of is like buying $1,000 at a time, right? um I should have done that, but I did not have a crystal ball, unfortunately. At $60, uh everyone thought that Bitcoin would have went up to 100, but that didn't happen. But I still think none of the fundamentals for Ethereum has changed. Now, the Fusaka upgrade did not do anything. I think it will just take some time for Ethereum to make sense as an investment. And it doesn't help that a lot of the Ethereum buys are OTC, which means the buys just simply change hands and doesn't affect the actual price of Ethereum. So there's no price discovery. A lot of these companies buying Ethereum are just buying the Ethereum from the exchanges that are selling, and they did so over the counter. And that doesn't affect the price, but we have a lot of retail selling, especially retail that believed in the 4-year cycle, and also retail that got liquidated. So we have a bunch of selling pressure, and not a lot of buying pressure because of the institutions buying via OTC. But the good thing is that we are seeing the exchange, the Ethereum in exchanges drop, and there might be supply shock soon, which means the exchanges might have to buy Ethereum. And then you couple that with tokenization and stablecoin, and I think it's very possible for Ethereum to make a massive run in 2026, along with rotation from gold and silver, and rotation from AI. But I've been wrong. for the last two, I think like 4 months or 5 months now. So maybe you shouldn't listen to me and you should inverse everything I said. Okay, I don't know. That's just my thoughts here. And that was a long ass video. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.